So I have never seen another YouTuber that is making videos about off-grid living and or coming to Quartzsite, Arizona, talk about this. So what if I told you this little rock, this little stone that's found in Arizona might be enough to pay for everything I ever wanted to do on our off-grid property? And guess what? I can sell it here in Quartzsite, Arizona. So for years we've been coming out to Quartzsite, kind of doing the RV stuff, going to the RV show, seeing all the RV stuff that's here, the big tent. But this year we're looking at things a little differently. This year we're looking at rocks and gems, because Arizona not only has the biggest RV show in the country, they also have one of the largest rock and gem shows in the country, and it all happens at the same time. So this year, having off-grid property, I started looking at rocks on our property in a whole different way. And man, was I surprised to find out that I ought to have been paying attention to some of the rocks and gems. You know, a lot of these off-grid videos, you know, especially when it comes to off-grid, they're talking about being frugal. They're talking about how to save money and how to build things for cheaper and blah, 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 blah. But rocks are free. And if you have the right kind of rock on your property, you know, and you know what you're looking for, your property and the rocks that are on your property could pay for a lot of things that you need, like a septic and, you know, things like that, and trenching for water lines and you know, making a pond, you know, renting an excavator. You may not get rich, but you can certainly pay for some of the things that you might need. And Quartzsite, Arizona at the Rock and Gem Show is the best place to learn what you may have on your property. So we're gonna drive out to the Rock and Gem Show, and we're gonna get a couple rocks that I've taken off our property. I'm gonna see what they are and see if they're worth anything or if anybody's interested in those kind of rocks. I have no idea. I'm not a rock expert, but I will say this. When you are buying off-grid property, one of the things you better make sure you have is mineral rights. So if you do not have mineral rights, this video is mute to you. You can't do anything with the rocks you dig up out of ground. But most of the time, you'll have mineral rights. We have mineral rights on our property, which is why it's so important to ask real basic questions when you're buying property, like, do I have mineral rights? Do I have water rights? Things like that. So we're gonna go and check out the Rock and Gem Show and see if, you know, see what I got in my pocket is worth its weight in salt. There are areas of Arizona where you can find a rock, this special rock, this big, that can sell for $75 to $100 a piece. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of good rock. And it's here in Arizona where everyone wants to live off grid. I mean, the whole western part of the United States, they have volcanoes everywhere. So, you know, probably if you're close to an old million-year volcano, you probably have some gems and rocks on your property that might be worth something. But are you going to know what they are? Do you want to take the time to learn what they are? I know for me, I'm definitely going to take the time to learn what do I have on my property that may be worth something. Okay, so went to the Rock and Gem show, talked to a couple experts on what this was, what this could be, what they think it is, but we're about 95% sure it is valuable. Now, here's the trick. You don't really know until you dig it up, because a lot of these gems and a lot of these rocks that you walk over all the time, especially on raw land, you're just going to see it as a rock. But until you dig it up and turn it over and inspect it, that's when you're going to know if it's got value to it. That's the hard part. I don't know anything about rocks. That's why one of the goals to come to Quartzsite this year was to kind of figure out if we have anything valuable on the property. But it looks like we might have a couple pieces if we do more digging, and if we really know what we're looking for. Yes. Could it be valuable? Yes. Could it be a gem? Yes. But you don't really know until you really start cutting into it. And that's really kind of the trick of the bag. So you're going to have to invest in equipment, possibly, you know, definitely a Dremel, definitely a rock saw, definitely a tumbler, which takes a buku amount of electricity because you have to run it for a very long time. However, there's always ways to get around that. You can always outsource that also. But I think the core message in this video is this, is that it's great to buy off-grid property. And it's great to, you know, use the resources on the property, like wood and like you see on the TV shows and things like that. But for out here in Arizona, everyone talks about off-grid property. I bought off-grid property in northern Arizona, Apache County, Cochise County. You probably have a lot more underground than you think. And so if you take some time to really look at it, there could be a very high possibility that you can come to a rock and gem show like here out in Quartzsite and kind of kill two birds with one stone, right? You come out here because it's warmer. Obviously, you've got the RV show going on. But if you take the time and fill up some 5-gallon buckets, you might be able to absolutely pay for something. Especially you can pay for your LTVA fee, which is like around $160, $180. But you can also come and make some money. You could set up a booth. You could do a lot of different things from your off-grid property and make some money at the same time. So next year, we're definitely going to look into that and see if our property does, in fact, hold some rare rocks and some valuable rocks that we can actually sell in Quartzsite at the Rock and Gem show. So we're completely thinking differently now. Yes, it's a great RV place. It's great solar, blah, 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 blah. But it's what's in the ground that may make you the most money and get you the best bang for the buck. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. I hope this is valuable for some off-grid people out there, especially in Arizona, to maybe think about your property a little bit different, especially for those of you in Utah too. That's another gem-rich and rock-rich area. So don't be so quick to walk over a rock. Thanks for watching. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.